Florence Pugh made her MCU debut as Yelena Belova, sister to Scarlett Johansson's Natasha Romanoff, aka the Black Widow, in the 2021 film Black Widow. But how did her casting come about? Well, it was all thanks to Black Widow director Kate Shortland. When she first met with Marvel producers, they had asked her who she'd want to work with if she signed on for the film. She knew she'd be making a big decision for the studio, since most actors get contracted for multiple Marvel projects after their debut. She hadn't read any of the scripts yet, but her first answer was Florence Pugh. Shortland had seen Pugh in the film Lady Macbeth a few times and wanted to work with her. She met her in London with Brian Chapek, Shortland's producer, and they got on very well. Just that meeting alone proved that Pugh had what it takes to match Johansson's energy and charisma on screen, which was a strong selling point for the team. Pugh also revealed during the meeting that she was a trained dancer, so Shortland and her team knew she would make the fight sequences more dynamic and be able to handle the choreography better than hiring a body double. Most A-listers are contractually obligated to let stunt doubles handle the dangerous stunts, but some Marvel actors, including Pugh, decide to perform safer, hand-to-hand combat action. Shortland recalls, and when they were fighting in the apartment, you've got this really balletic, athletic stuff happening between the two of them because of Florence's experience with dance. Shortland has emphasized her confidence in the young actress and her ability to match veteran actors like Johansson and Rachel Weisz. Upon accepting the role, Pugh was initially scared of the audience's response. She was portraying a character that had never been seen before on screen or on television, but one that people have read about in the comics. She didn't know if people were going to hate her. Surprisingly, the physicality of the role and audience response weren't what scared Pugh the most. It was actually Yelena's Russian accent. Although Pugh is known to be a master of accents, there's one thing that she gets frequently called out for: not using the vocabulary of the accents region. At the beginning of her career, Pugh spoke in her natural British dialect, like in the sports biopic Fighting with My Family, which made her known to international audiences. She has shown her mastery of the American accent in films like Midsummer and Little Women, the latter for which she was Oscar-nominated. And now she's shown her mastery with her Russian accent in the MCU. Pugh was nervous that her accent didn't sound authentic, although she worked closely with a dialect coach on set. When footage of Black Widow was first released at San Diego Comic-Con, she was worried about the internet hate. Hollywood dialect coach Adrian Nelson has praised her work though. She nailed the eel sounds like in wheel, will, and keel, kill. It's often a missed sound and a false note. The coach would go on to highlight the fact that Pugh nailed how the accent often drops the T correctly. Pugh also practiced integrating the musicality and rhythms in a way that the Russian accent sounds. One of her greatest challenges in maintaining the accent, though, was over several different tempos. Most actors keep a dialect consistent when they're speaking at one particular tempo, and they'll embrace that tempo for most situations they are in. But with Yelena, Pugh was performing stunts, fast-paced and intense scenes in which her tempo would naturally change, and she managed to keep the dialect consistent regardless of the tempo. She truly is a master of accents. Since Black Widow is a prequel of sorts, when Pugh came to play the character in Thunderbolts, she knew there had to be a change in her character and personality. In between these two projects, she does make an appearance in the Disney Plus series Hawkeye, where we first got a glimpse of this new Yelena. When she finished Black Widow, Pugh knew in the back of her head that Yelena would be different. In the film, she relies heavily on her sister and her found family again. But as fans know, after the events of Avengers: Endgame and Natasha's sacrifice, Hawkeye and Thunderbolts take months, if not years, after the OG Black Widow's death. The first thing Pugh did was think, how would Natasha's death affect Yelena? Other questions emerged, like who tells her? How did she find out? How does she react? Does she go after someone? These questions informed her portrayal in the Disney Plus series and allowed Pugh to create a new objective of avenging her sister's death.
Assignment is complete.
This ultimately changed how Pugh saw the character. When it was revealed that Yelena goes after Clint Barton, played by Jeremy Renner, who was Natasha's best friend in the MCU, it created a whole new dynamic that led her to where Yelena is in Thunderbolts. She found it fascinating, saying, "They were going to put me and Clint against each other," which I thought was a really cool twist. It was so fascinating to be in my character's head, a good person, but to everybody else, she is bad. That was an interesting line to walk. Marvel and the team gave her freedom to create a new character with each new project she was cast for. She thanks her first director, Shortland, for giving her the space and opportunity and freedom to create a new character different from the comics, but one that can evolve based on the situation, which is every actor's dream.
We can find a way together.
Thunderbolts has one of Marvel's biggest set-piece stunts that has fans in awe. In the scene, Pugh as Yelena jumps off the Merdeka 118 in Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia, the second tallest skyscraper in the world at 2,722 feet. Fans will be surprised to know that Pugh performed the stunt herself and had to beg Kevin Feige, the president of Marvel, to let her do it. The reason she was attracted to performing the stunt herself is the fact that the Oscar nominee loves heights and wanted to feel the thrill of jumping off a tall building like that. If Tom Cruise can scale the Burj Khalifa, then why can't she jump off the Merdeka 118? The inspiration for the stunt that got written into the script is credited to director Jake Schreier, who said they wanted to give the beginning of the movie a little bit more weight and a little bit more surprise and up the stakes. Pugh says, as we got closer and closer to shooting, they said they don't think it's going to happen because it's a crazy insurance ordeal. Disney Health and Safety had rejected the idea that the actress herself do the stunt, but Schreier says that it's all thanks to Pugh, who truly believed in the story and in the whole team to put herself through the stunt and elevate the moment. Pugh had to act like a sassy Karen, she says, in order to get them to drop the issue. She emailed and called Feige multiple times. It wasn't until she told him that if they did this, they would have 3 women break 3 different Guinness World Records that he finally agreed to figure something out and let her do the stunt. In truth, it's less of a jump and more of a dangle. The actress appears to step off the roof and then descend a small distance before she's roped back up. Still looks terrifying, though.
At the beginning, Jake asked me, do you like heights? I was like, I love heights.
How did she prepare herself mentally, though? Well, she first had to come to terms with what she had put herself up for after the executives agreed. She worked alongside the incredible stunt team to choreograph every moment and detail that ensured her safety, as well as the believability of the stunt. She admits that the jump itself took so much adrenaline that afterwards, she napped for about 3 hours to reset her mind and body after making it go through the intense experience. She credits Tom Cruise and his stunts in Mission Impossible, saying, "No one can top Tom Cruise. He has inspired me 100%. I don't know if anyone will ever be as brilliant as he is, and his respect for the stunt world is something that has educated so many people." The team constructed a rig at the top of the building that was designed with the best engineering capabilities by the stunt team, which set out from the beginning to let the team do something that they've never done before. The rig would allow the team to descend Pugh off the building with safety procedures in mind, as well as the ability to remove the rig and all the cables and ropes from the frames in post-production. The craziest fun fact about all this, the team did this in one take.
Ready, and 3, 2, 1, go!
Florence Pugh is truly one of the great actresses working today. From her dedication to the role and perfecting Yelena's accent to doing the jaw-dropping stunts on screen herself, Pugh elevated her superhero role to a new standard. No wonder she's one of the greatest actors of her generation. Thanks for watching.